Hello, my name is Lucas,
My name is Alexander.
My name is Max.
My name is Alexander.
My name is Adam.
and we are the group of Lord of the Flies. I chose to read Lord of the Flies because I thought it was a really interesting book that combined small boys on an island in the middle of nowhere.
I think that the book is very interesting because it shows how the people evolved while being on the island.
Yeah, the book is interesting for me because I liked how there's action and there's hunting.
Yeah, and I chose the book because I've heard online that it's a very good book with great reviews. But what do you think, Adam?
I have heard about the film and I wanted to read the book, and that's why I chose it. And I have heard it has a really deep meaning and discusses the chaos on the natural savagery of humanity.
Yeah. It's a good example to take up because at the start of the book we're introduced to the boys as these, it's in the middle of World War II and they're in the Pacific Ocean. They get, they're stranded on island with no adult supervision or anything. And over time they lead to get more savage, killing some people in the process.
Yeah, they get rage in them because they're so separated from the rest of humanity. So they bring back their old traits from the old ancient times. Exactly. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree, but I also think that it couldn't really happen to us because of we're more of the
Most involved, most people.
yeah, exactly. But still, I mean, let's say we go onto an island, we can't be using technology or anything like that. So I think the story could become very different. If we were there, we would probably make groups. Maybe for example, Max would become a very bad leader.
Yeah, and then we'd make Max an outcast and he's all alone.
Yeah.
This feels like a lot of Omring, and I think that because this period happened, the book's period happened under war times, that played a big role in why they became savages, because they wanted to also look a bit stronger and show the country what they've accomplished while they've been stranded.
Yeah, we could see how Jack was burning for that first pig kill. He didn't care about being civilized, he just wanted that first pig kill.
Jack is very uncivilized,
Just like you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I
but
think
he
that-
thinks he kills pigs all over the place. He kills people, and he and his group.
Yeah.
They are the savages in the book. I would say.
I'd like to start off by saying that when we're introduced to Jack at the start of the book, he's introduced that he wants power. We can even sense that, he has a knife. He's supposed to be the leader. He's the leader of the boys with the uniforms at the start of the book, and he craves power. While Ralph symbolizes more democracy, Jack symbolizes way more dictatorship of power and just there being one leader.
I think that the person who made the book really wanted to show what you're talking about, and really wanted to criticize how our society works, where there is different groups and the groups become more
Different ideologies.
just as civilized as the leader.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100% to every single word.
Do you think the theme of the book is to show how uncivilized and how people can change? Or
Yeah, I'd like to say that because I think it's also how you said, a parody of society. It's just supposed to be no matter how much we try, there will always be a problem. So they tried the democracy to start. Oh, Jack doesn't want it. I'm starting off my own tribe. Leads to a war, people getting killed. They burn even a part of the island at the start of the book just because Jack wanted to go hunting and Ralph wanted to set up a fire for the boat.
I think that the society that the people have made on the island is very political, because Jack gives the people what they need now, while Ralph waits for a time and gives the people what they need later, what he thinks they need later. For example, houses for the rain.
Yeah.
Don't you agree with him?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I do agree.
Yeah, this is why we chose to read The Lord of the Flies. We thought it was a really interesting concept that takes up a lot of serious topics. All right, so now we will shortly summarize the book and talk about a specific character each.
Okay, first the summary of the book. So at first, the boys were on a plane and they get stranded under a world war on a island without any parents or any supervision. They start a democracy with Ralph, and then later on it evolved into a dictatorship. Can you add on?
Yeah, I got it on. So, like you said, it starts off as in the middle of the Pacific Island, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, with no adult supervision or anything. These boys realize that they're all alone. They find the main character that we're introduced to is called Ralph, and another boy we're introduced to called Piggy, and a conch. This conch is supposed to resemble and symbolize democracy. It sticks them all together and causes them all to make decisions as one person.
So when they found this conch, they used it to find the other people on the island to see if there are other people. And when they used this conch, they got people out of the forest, all of the little lands and the bigger kids also. And because they were alone, they used this time to be happy, because there were no parents. And they started building some huts, and Maurice started to throw rocks.
The reason that Maurice throws rocks is foreshadowing to a way bigger event that happens way later in the book, which we'll talk about later.
Once they all find each other in the book, like Alexander said, they climb up the mountain and start the most important steps, and that's working together. So they climb up the mountain to figure out if they're on an island or a mainland to see their chances of getting saved. They find out they're an island, and on the same period, in the same period, they also managed to burn down the island. But in the beginning, everyone is nice, more civilized, they're human with each other. But as the book progresses, something changes. Would you like to add to that, Adam?
Yeah, you forgot a big part, the campfire, because it represents connection with humanity and their only way to escape the island, and their only hope, as Alexander said. When the fire dies out, we can see that the boys are getting more inhumane and uncivilized. I think the writer wanted to emphasize the campfire as their last hope, and when it dies out, it just becomes an anarchy.
Well, it was also the thing that saved them at the end.
I want to.
No, actually,
I'd like to
I want to
add-
add
not the
to
campfire.
The
Yeah,
fire.
I want to
I would
add
like to add on
Like
to what Max said before Adam started to speak, which was about how they progressed through the book, and they got more savage because of them. They were like getting separated from humanity, which, as Adam said, was a representation of the fire, which I totally agree on, because it shows indirectly like who they are, like how they evolved.
I would like to add on to what Adam previously said
Yeah, man.
about the whole campfire. We've already seen a little bit of foreshadowing and hint towards this. At the start, we're introduced to both Jack and Ralph, who both want to be leaders, or how do they say it?
Tribe leaders.
Tribe leaders, the chiefs.
Chiefs,
Yeah,
yeah.
they both want to be introduced as chiefs at the start of the book. Ralph doesn't have any points why he should be chief. He doesn't even want to be chief at the start. It's Jack who is. But over time, the boys realize Ralph is a better leader. He holds us together. So they choose him as the chief. Jack is filled with rage and jealousy now. Says that it's not fair. And when they find this mountain top, that's our only way of escape, by making smoke till their boats or planes nearby. This causes Ralph to say that that's their number one focus. The huts for their survival, but also the fire for their only hope of escape. However, Jack doesn't hold with this. He says food's more important, and he wants meat. So they go hunting instead of taking care of the fire, which later makes the fire die out.
Yeah, I think
causing
this is
that
a
the soldiers
big spark to Jack and Ralph's future rivalries, which progresses through the book.
Yeah, when we get back to the overview, so when the rivalry starts, there's two different tribes. One is a dictatorship with Jack as the leader, which is really inhumane and uncivilized, and leads to the death of Simon. And Ralph's tribe that gets smaller and smaller day by day, which is still kind of a democracy, and like with Piggy, the smart person, doing the like good choices for the like boys.
Yeah,
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that, and I want to add to the fire, because the fire was the only way to escape, like Max said, because the boats can see the fire. But when Jack stopped caring about the fire because of the meat, made Jack very made the Ralph get very angry because of Jack wanting the meat.
Yeah.
And
Okay, shitty.
You wait to see all.
And can I add on? What are you doing, man?
Hey, what?
Why is he throwing candy? Hey! Vad gör ni?
Det var inte så, det var inte så.
Nej, sida! Hej!
Men
Hej!
fan alltså,
Disciplin! Stäng bak.
Kasta på Max.
Vad har jag gjort?
Och sen...
Nej, jag vet inte.
Där, den får bli borta. Jag slänger den sen.
du får
Den rullar
Kasta
där.
den på mig.
Okej, jag slänger den.
Den gick rakt i mitt huvud. Did you catch that on camera, man?
Oh shit, vi har det på kameran.
And to add on to what Alexander said about Ralph and Jack, I would say that in the beginning, Jack is more of
Nej,
a...
vänta grabbar.
Jack
Vi
is
måste
in
tillbaka till overview. Så.
the overview of what?
Vi har snackat för mycket om
Nej, vi
det.
ska säga så.
We're talking about the overview all the time.
This all leads to the end scene where the Jack Stripe steals Piggy's glasses, which represent evolutionary science and research. And this leads to Ralph Stripe going back to Jack Stripe and trying to take the glasses back. And in this whole situation, Piggy dies by the unhumanized and tribe members of Jack's tribe, which just killed him without any reason to. Can you all add on to that?
Yeah,
They are very brutal in the end, I think. But that just shows how much people can change when
And
they're
how-
away from people.
And how their true nature can show when they're so away from
Yes.
humanity.
Yeah, you know, maybe if me and Alexandra got stranded on an island, then maybe in the beginning, maybe we would be friends. But then as the story progresses, he might get mad at me, for, like it was in the book, and tired of me, and then war could start as it did in the book. But that's what I think.
I want
coming
to.
back.
I want to add to the book that in the start, the Lillands thought they saw a beast or a snake thing, and that made them very scared to go in the forest alone and on the night. So when they killed Simon, they thought that Simon was the beast.
Coming back to what Adam said about Piggy, when they killed Piggy, they showed no sign of regret because they
No mercy.
no mercy, exactly, because they've been through so much on this island, and they've been becoming cavemen and evolving down back to where they came from.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to mention with the foreshadowing. Because at the start of the book, Maurice and Roger are just throwing small rocks. They're not throwing them. They're missing on purpose. But they're just pretending that they're throwing rocks on small kids. This all leads to Roger and Maurice both having a big boulder with a stick, tucking it down, crushing Piggy and killing him. Showing that they have no mercy left and are completely
Very
savage.
brutal, I
Can
would say.
someone explain how the book ends?
I would love to.
I think Alexander.
Come on, man.
So it ends with Ralph getting told by Sam and Eric, who have joined the Jack's tribe,
By
that they're-
force.
by force exactly, that they will go and hunt for Ralph. When they find Ralph, and he runs out of the forest into the strand beaches, and when he's there, there's I think it was a Navy officer that found him and asked what had happened there, who was the
Yeah.
leader, and if people had got killed.
Yeah,
Super.
I can add on to that because I forgot a major part. The
Boat
fire.
method.
Oh yeah. I'm
The-
sorry, guys.
You forgot the fire,
The
which
fire
is why the Ralph even ran out of the forest, because Jack's tribe wanted to smoke out him of the forest with fire, and they burned down the whole forest. with
Gas
that,
him.
with-
like they did
which
in-
ironically leads
Ja,
to
Pierre.
Visa
their
Matilda.
save. There's like savior coming to them, the
Yeah.
Navy officer, and they all break down and start to cry because they have reflected on what they did.
And it was wrong.
Yeah, and maybe their hope was restored, and they had hope they could go back to their original lives.
civilization.
Yeah, I would like to thank Adam for helping me there because that's why we have friends. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this is our summary of.
Guys, there is no beast. Guys, there is no beast.
There's the beast. There's the beast.
Scene that we just recreated is when Simon is trying to tell everyone that there is no beast, but instead he gets
Slime.
slime.
The assumption that he is the beast.
And this
Right.
is the,
They
Yeah.
assume.
They assume that he's the beast, but he weren't, and instead he got killed.
I think this is the first scene that actually depicts how the boys are driving more towards a savage part of themselves. Because at this time, they didn't even ask if it was a beast or not. They just straight up went and killed him with no hesitation, not feeling any guilt.
I think maybe some of them knew that was not the beast, but still decided to kill him and just group pressure. And
Yeah.
they wanted blood and not pig blood. Do you agree with that?
I somewhat agree, because
Yeah,
in the book, they say that some of them made a mistake, and that they actually didn't mean to kill him, like Ralph and Piggy, who killed them, but didn't mean to. We've talked about Lord of the Flies, we talked about a scene, we've talked about our summary of the book, and we talked about some opinions and our personal beliefs of how the book is inspired.
Yeah.
What's your rating on the book?
I give the book a solid 7 out of 10 because it was good, but I think it was a bit too unrealistic and a bit too not that complex as I would like it to be.
Yeah, I would say that I would give it a 6 out of 10 because of what I've heard of the book, I thought it was going to be greater than it was.
I want to give the book an 8 out of 10 because of that scene when the boat came by, but there was no fire and they ran up and got very angry at each other.
I think the opposite of Alexander. I give the book an 8 out of 10 because I thought the book was much worse than what it actually was.
I give the book a 7 out of 10 because I like how it depicts people being more savage, and I like the theme of the book. But I think, like Adam previously said, it's depicted Ralph as this main character who can't be killed and who's way stronger than what he physically can.
It feels like not a book with a deep meaning, but more like an action book.
Yeah,
And
more
just
like a
filled with-
yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to our conversation about Lord of the Flies. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.
Have a
Papa
good
Bear.
one.